Joining me now is independent journalist Evita Duffy-Alfonso. Evita, it is just hard to believe the words that we're saying and seeing on our screen, remembering the legacy of Charlie Kirk, a search for his shooter, ongoing assassination, our coverage of this. As a young person, how are you remembering him this morning?
Listen, it's been horrific. I was sobbing yesterday. I was sobbing this morning as I'm thinking about what I'm going to say. Charlie Kirk was a martyr for his faith, for Christ, for the soul of our country. As a young conservative on a college campus not too long ago, he gave us courage. Our ideas are not platformed in the classroom. We're bullied by other students. I had received threats on my own life as a student for being a conservative and opposing socialism. Charlie Kirk platformed our ideas. He modeled civil discourse. The other thing that he did is he connected with Gen Z on such a deep level, deeper than any conservative thought leader or politician ever has, because he recognized that we aren't just a lost cause. We're not a generation that has been brainwashed and we're not worth looking at. He talked to us about debt. He talked to us about our ability to own a home in the future, to pay for rent, to pay for our groceries, the loneliness epidemic, our ability to start families, to get married and have children. He cared about us, he listened, and he gave us a different path. So many of us are falling into the clutches of Marxism, the Zoran Mamdani, the AOC, Bernie Sanders, the Marxist future that the university system itself is purporting for young people. He went into the belly of the beast. He went on these college campuses and he evangelized, quite literally, to save the soul of our country. And for that, I couldn't be more grateful to Charlie and everything that he's done for our generation.
Yeah, and you know, Evita, you tried to start a Turning Point chapter on your college campus. What were you told at the time?
Yeah, I mean, this was incredible. So I tried to start a Turning Point USA chapter because I was noticing the hostility on my campus from my left-wing peers. I said, we need to have a place where we can platform different perspectives. And the student body government shot down my proposition for a Turning Point chapter because they said it would incite violence. That violence, of course, is violence from left-wing students who would be opposed to a Turning Point USA chapter. So I think it's really interesting as you see what Charlie was warning about before he died. He talked about assassination culture, the way that young people cheered on CEO killer Luigi Mangione, the way that people were celebrating the assassination attempts on Trump's life, the 2020 Summer of Love, which was encouraged by Democrat politicians at the very highest levels of government. Even some Republicans, I might add. He noticed that the left has a propensity for violence, that there's a history here. If you look at what Mao did, what Stalin did, Lenin, throughout human history, leftists have had a propensity for violence because of the world that you're living in is chaotic and scary. Then they can seize control and maintain power. Charlie understood that. He talked about it incessantly. And I think that his death is the greatest warning of what we're on the precipice of if we don't turn into a different direction and start to actually embrace the values that America was really founded on.
I mean,
it's a call for courage.
I mean, just what an absolute loss for his wife, for his children. There's a video that we've been showing where his little daughter runs towards him after hosting Fox and Friends weekend with your mom. And you see just jumping into her hero father's arms and a big smile on Charlie's face. That was just a few weeks ago. It's also just a remarkable loss, Evita, for the future of our country. I mean, where does the young conservative movement go from here without him?
We can't be intimidated out of the public square. I think there's going to be, and I felt it myself, right, fear when I saw the news. You don't want to go out in public anymore. You don't want to keep talking. You don't want to keep speaking out, but we have to. What happened to Charlie is the greatest sign that we have to keep talking. We have to keep the debate going, because if we don't, you're going to continue to see the polarization and the violence against neighbors and friends that cannot be sustained. We won't have a country if this doesn't end. And so I think it's a call for courage, and it's a call to stay in the public square.
That's right. A call for courage, a call for action, and a call to continue. I mean, Charlie always said that Jesus was the most important thing. He loved that there was a Christian revival in this country as well. He encouraged young people to live a God-fearing life, and they did. And it just didn't feel like his work was done yet. And God has a plan for all of us, and we will never understand why things happen when they do or what that plan really is. But we do know that he made a remarkable mark on our country politically and the future of it in the 31 years that he was here on this earth. Independent journalist Evita Duffy-Alfonso, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.